call this meeting of the Monticello City Council to order. Please rise and join me in reciting the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Keep it, John. Hey, John, just keep it. Roll call, please. Jill?
Mr. Frericks?
Here.
Ms. Stevens? Here. Ms. Harlan? Here. Mr. Reed?
Here.
Ms. Vogt? Here. Mr. Brock?
Here.
Mr. Burris?
Here.
Mr. Kuhn?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Public participation. There is no one in-house to participate this evening. Remote participation. This is an opportunity for the public to provide public comment to the presiding officer. Public comments must comply with ordinance 2014-02 and be limited to 5 minutes or less. At this time, members of the public are able to attend public meetings by web conference and to submit public comment by email, voicemail, or through web conference. Is there anyone? Who? Mr. Schroeder?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to comment that I certainly hope that you or somebody will explain the expenditure for Tract 8. I thought that was all closed out and had already gone over budget before, and I see another $9,500. Maybe you'd explain that to the public, why we're still putting out that kind of money for that project. Thank you.
Thank you. Hearing or seeing no one else, let's move on to, there was no one else, right? Consent agenda, approval of documents and action items is listed. Claims report, claims dated November 10, 2020 through November 23rd, 2020. Meeting minutes, city council meeting minutes, November 9, 2020. City council closed session meeting minutes, November 9, 2020. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Terry, is there a quick explanation? Tract 8?
Tract 8, we're still, the engineers are finalizing the environmental report to submit to IEPA. That's not been done yet for a full, no further remediation letter from IEPA. So this 9,500 or thereabouts puts us a little bit over the agreed upon $180,000 of Pfizer reimbursement. But it should be closed out in short order.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Not seeing or hearing any. Jill, roll call.
Mr. Frericks?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Stevens?
Yes.
Ms. Harlan?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Vogt?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Burris?
Yes.
Mr. Kuhn?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to the mayor's report. I really don't have a report as such, but I do have a couple of questions to pose to the council. Would you prefer that we continue meeting this way, or would you prefer that we go remote?
In person.
In person?
Yes. In person.
In person?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. And I've had a lot of people complaining to me about restaurants that are seating people inside. I know we have nothing on our books or any books take care of that. Do we want to get into that, or do we just want to leave that alone?
I think the governor's done quite a.
I would prefer not to get involved in it.
That consensus. Thank you very much. That's my report this evening. New business. Resolution 2020-54. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Monticello approving the city budget for fiscal year 2021. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
So the question for Terry on the rec, what other investigations you've done on the getting a campaign manager for that site? If that matters, that it's not in the budget, can we adjust it if we decide we want to do something next to this upcoming fiscal year? How does that work?
We can always amend the budget or amend the appropriation ordinance to put that in at any time next year. It is not included in FY 2021. I would say that the mayor and I have spoke in pretty good detail about steps that the mayor and I believe the council is interested in engaging with the Preparation Foundation. And I think the mayor and I will be bringing something to the council, at the beginning of next year.
I just want to make sure that, because it's not in there, sometimes we put things, there are road projects that we know of, we put it in the budget, knowing that this is likely going to happen, and then we put bids out, whatever. It's not in this one, so, but we can add to that if at some point next spring, we decide we want to do it, we can amend it.
I don't want to speak on behalf of the mayor, but I think we're going to look at some avenues to explore next year.
That's fine. We don't need to discuss that any further. I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything.
Anyone else have a comment or question? Have a vote, please.
Mr. Frericks?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Stevens?
Yes.
Ms. Harlan?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Swope?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Burris?
Yes.
And Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2020-55, an ordinance levying taxes for all corporate purposes for the city of Monticello, Hyatt County, Illinois, for the fiscal year commencing on January 1st, 2021, and ending on December 31st, 2021. Terry?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If I could go over real briefly, ordinance 2020-55, 56, and 57.
No problem. Go ahead.
Thank you. So ordinance 2020-55, in accordance with the truth and taxation law, the city council must approve an estimated tax levy at least 20 days prior to the adoption of the final levy. If the estimated property tax levy is less than 105% of the prior year's levy, the city would not be required to advertise its intent and hold a public hearing on the levy. If you would recall, City Council approved the estimated tax levy on November 9th, 2020. So tonight doesn't meet that 20-day minimum period. You were also presented with that draft copy of the property tax levy ordinance, and were informed that these items would appear before you at tonight's meeting. The proposed FY 2021 budget includes a 4.9% increase in the property tax revenues. So it is recommended that the city council discuss ordinance 2020-55 and make a motion to move ordinance 2020-55 to a second reading at your December 14th, 2020 city council meeting to meet that required 20-day period. Ordinance 2020-56 and ordinance 2020-57. I could speak to both those. Those are special service area number 3, Sage Meadows, and special service area number 4, Walden Pond. Special service area number 3 and 4, tax levy will be the established maximum amount of 50 cents per $100 of equalized assessed value for each lot located in each subject territory respectively. It is recommended the city council approve ordinance 2020-56 and 2020-57, and those can be voted on at tonight's meeting if you so desire.
Thank you. Is there a motion to have a second reading of ordinance 2020-55 on the December 14th agenda? Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
I believe there's an incorrect date at 6.2. I don't know that makes any difference, but I think you meant to say January 1st instead of January 21st.
That's correct.
Yes. Thank you.
That's correct. Thank you, Linda. Anything else? Can I have a vote, please, Jill?
Mr. Fricks,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Harlan,
So we're waiving this? Is that what we're voting on?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Sorry.
that's fine. Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Vogt,
Yes.
Mr. Brock,
Yes.
Mr. Burris,
Yes.
Mr. Coon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2020-56 and ordinance 2020-57? Oh, do I need to, I probably should do them one at a time. 2020-56, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of, I can't do that. Is there a motion to waive second reading? 2020-56. Thanks, Tom, for bailing me out. I appreciate it. Who did it?
Rod.
Rodney did? All right.
The motion that was Rodney and who seconded? Wendell? Tom.
That's okay.
Mr. Fricks,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Harlan,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Vogt,
Yes.
Mr. Brock,
Yes.
Mr. Burris,
Yes.
Mr. Coon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Is there a motion to pass ordinance 2020-56, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of a tax for the fiscal year commencing on January 1st, 2021, ending on December 31st, 2021 for special service area number 3 of the city of Monticello, Pike County, Illinois?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Tom and Tammy.
Can you just remind us why we have these two special service areas?
It was an agreement with the developers to charge a tax on those specific parcels as a reimbursement to the infrastructure extension cost. And it's just to those particular parcels.
Right.
In those specific subdivisions, you mean?
Correct.
And so it's 50 cents for every $100 of equalized assessed value. Do you have an estimated approximate amount of how much that'll increase per parcel?
I can't remember what the total, it's not very much.
I think this year for Sage Meadows, it was $2,000, and for Walden Pond, because it's the phase, like $150, not very much. As they develop that, then it's like this is our elementary stage, it's not too much.
Does that answer your question?
Anyone else? Hearing or seeing none, Jill, may I have a vote?
Mr. Fricks,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Harlan,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Vogt,
Yes.
Mr. Brock,
Yes.
Mr. Burris,
Yes.
Mr. Coon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Is there a motion to waive second reading of ordinance 2020-57, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of a tax for the fiscal year commencing on January 1st, 2021, ending on December 31st, 2021, for special service area number 4 of the city of Monticello, Pike County, Illinois?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jill.
Mr. Fricks,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Harlan,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Vogt,
Yes.
Mr. Brock,
Yes.
Mr. Burris,
Yes.
Mr. Coon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2020-57?
So moved.
Thank you, Tammy. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Wendell. Any comments or questions? Hearing or seeing none, Jill?
Mr. Fricks,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Harlan,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Vogt,
Yes.
Mr. Brock,
Yes.
Mr. Burris,
Yes.
Mr. Coon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Very much. Moving on, Alderman's reports. John,
No, Mayor.
Tammy,
Nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Pam,
Those wreaths are disgustingly ugly again, but I'll go with it since it's been a bad year. Yes, we did, and we're still having them. So anyway,
at the end of,
that's it. That's all that's right in my head.
Sherry, I'm glad you showed up tonight. Tom?
Thank you.
I just want to appreciate the Public Works Department getting out and fixing a water leak and a big pothole related to that out on County Farm Road.
That was a mess, I'm sure. Mike,
Nothing tonight.
Rodney?
I hate to say it, but I got a nice wreath on my pole in front of my house. It's really cool.
You like it?
I like it.
Getting on the council, I actually.
I'll help you.
That's all, right. Nothing important.
That's it. Wendell?
Just to thank Public Works for their efforts for what we do have. The square looks nice. The
Swear does.
things went up nice on the railings and the trees look good for what we have. So I'm happy for that. I want to put my 2 cents in, I guess, about the restaurant thing. I'm really, really sorry that some of the small business people here in town are suffering terribly from this. And I know how tough it is. So I just ask for everybody to support them any way that they can, because I think this is going to go on for quite some time. And I'd hate for anybody to lose their business over it, but we're in a tough situation. So please, especially during the holidays, I ask for everybody to do all they can. That's all.
You, Mary?
Wendell took the words out of my mouth. Square looks great, and hopefully we can find a way to support the businesses without sitting inside.
City Administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do have a few things tonight. Real quick, want to give you some figures as far as the latest data that we've received. The business district tax, we budgeted $200,300 for this year. It looks like we should be under that, come in under that $15,000 to $20,000 under that. That was the first year for that 1% sales tax increase. So that really is really not too bad, I didn't think, with everything considered this year. Sales tax, we budgeted $1,042,660 this year. It looks like we may end up $100,000 under that in sales tax of the $1,042,000. So again, I wasn't too, I thought that was pretty good. Gaming tax, we budgeted $75,000. Now they just got shut down again. So I know right now we're already in excess of $75,000 in gaming revenue. We might end up with about $6,000 over that projected revenue stream. Income tax, we budgeted $570,000 this year, and if the last payment or the ones coming up come in at what they should, we should be about $30,000 over that, $600,000. And then the state use tax, we did anticipate this would go up. We budgeted $150,000, and we should end up somewhere above or north of $200,000 for the state use tax. So we're doing fairly well with revenues so far. And then real quick, the budget, I appreciate everybody's hard work on that, from the committee meetings in early October to tonight. It's much appreciated, the time and effort that everybody has put into that, including staff, especially staff on my part. It's greatly appreciated. I did give you a draft, a preliminary, a rough draft of a different budget format. This type of budget kind of goes, follow the rules and regulations of Government Finance Officers Association distinguished budget presentation. If you want to use this, I would appreciate it if you could use this in conjunction with the normal budget that we approved tonight. This is not for council consideration or approval. If you can use this throughout the year and give me your input and thoughts on it, what you like, what you don't like. There is a ton of information in here that I think you guys will help you guys this coming year. I'm going to go in with Wendell on this one. I think the wreaths and the rest of the downtown railing and everything really looks good. I think the Macintosh Light Show in Rotary Centennial Park is almost complete. I drove by there tonight. It's not lit up yet, but I think the guys are about ready to finish that. That is a heck of a lot more work than just Public Works. Public Works plays a huge role in that. Beautification crew lead, Rebecca Niemer, Clayton Dobson, Brett Baker, Callie, Joe McFarland, obviously Jim Gabarzik and all the Public Works guys. That is truly an all hands on deck event up there to get that thing going. And I think that it'll be well received this year with everything considered. So thank you all for your help on the budget this year, and wish you all a happy Thanksgiving.
That's all?
Yes.
That was pretty good. Any other comments, questions? Oh, I forgot the chief. Sorry, chief. I always forget someone.
That's right. I have two things. The U.S. Department of Justice issued the standards for certification for safe policing and safe communities on October 28th, 2020, which was in to have compliance with the Executive Order 13929 on safe policing. That goes over our policies and make sure that we have a standard that is acceptable to the federal government to help us, assist in if we want to apply for any grants, stuff like that. We did go through that process, and I would like to let you know today that I received word that we passed our certification and it's being moved on to the certifying body, which is the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police, who will issue the certificate to us. So we did pass that process.
Very good. Congratulations.
Number two, and the last thing I have is, I want to say thanks to the Lyon County Journal Republican. They put an article in the paper about Shop with a Cop. And from that, we received over $2,200 in donations. So that's going to help us get a bunch of kids some gifts, which we are in the process of doing. I received several lists waiting on some more that are supposed to be by Wednesday. I've got thousands of dollars worth of gifts that, city staff has helped wrap. My daughter's helped wrap, and just members of the community. Some of the teachers from Lincoln School said, "Hey, can we help wrap?" And they've wrapped gifts, and it's wonderful. So I think we're trying to make it as special as we can this year because we can't take them and have that great time with them. So.
Good. Thank you, John. Any comments for John? Well done.
Thanks.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second. Give us signify by saying aye.
Aye.
December the 14th.